Experiencing rejection is a deeply painful ordeal. It goes beyond emotional distress and actually triggers physical pain responses in the brain, as revealed by fMRI studies. The language we use to describe rejection reflects this intense experience, with various cultures employing terms such as crushed or brokenhearted to depict the hurt caused by rejection. But why does rejection elicit such a strong response, and is there a way to cope with this unique type of pain? Psychologists often define rejection as the perception that others do not value forming social connections with us. This feeling can arise from being abandoned by a romantic partner, excluded from a group, or outright discriminated against. It is important to note that interpersonal rejections contain a social element that distinguishes them from professional disappointments, such as not getting a job. In interpersonal rejections, we sense that the rejecting party undervalues our relationship. While the pain of rejection typically intensifies when we value a relationship highly, even rejections from relative strangers can evoke negative feelings. This emotional response might seem excessive, but just as physical pain warns us of potential threats to our well-being, emotional pain alerts us to perceived threats to our social well-being. Some behavioral psychologists argue that this warning system developed in our prehistoric ancestors who lived in small clans and relied on everyone for survival. Consequently, humans may have evolved to view rejection from anyone as a potential threat to their safety. Although it is impossible to confirm this evolutionary theory definitively, it appears that our inherent warning system lacks instructions on how to process the intense emotional experience of rejection. When facing rejection, it can be helpful to ask ourselves a series of questions. First and foremost, we should consider the nature of our relationship with the person who rejected us. Do they know us well, and do we hold their opinion in high regard? Or are they merely a casual acquaintance? Determining the significance of the rejection can help us answer the second question: does this rejection truly matter? While it may sting when a stranger fails to appreciate our joke, it is not rational to react strongly to a rejection that has little impact on our lives. However, dismissing even a minor rejection is easier said than done because our self-perception also plays a role. Our confidence varies across different circumstances, and we tend to be particularly sensitive to rejection when we hold a negative view of ourselves. In fact, this sensitivity can lead us to misinterpret neutral reactions from others as rejections. To navigate these complexities, it is beneficial to reflect on our self-view and consider whether the other person is genuinely rejecting us or merely behaving in a way that differs from our expectations. Although this line of questioning may seem unconventional, we may discover that despite the other person's actions not aligning with our desires, they still value our relationship in their own way. In some cases, it is helpful to evaluate whether our expectations of acceptance were reasonable. Unfortunately, even after thorough introspection, we may still arrive at the painful realization that a person close to us does not value the relationship to the same extent. In such instances, it is crucial to remember two things. Firstly, that this rejection is not solely about us, as the other party may seek something different from the relationship that is unreasonable, unfair, or incompatible with what we can provide. Secondly, their rejection does not indicate any inherent flaw in us. The pain we feel is merely part of a system that prompts us to contemplate our interpersonal relationships. By reflecting on our behavior, we can gather insights that aid in better understanding the rejection and critically evaluating the type of relationship we desire with that person. It is important to acknowledge that every relationship and rejection is unique. However, regardless of the specifics, it is essential to remember that we are not alone in experiencing rejection. It is a universal aspect of life that everyone encounters, even those who may appear confident and secure in their sense of belonging. One of the most common ways to cope with this universal experience is to reconnect with those who already accept and appreciate us for who we are. Building and nurturing relationships with supportive individuals can help alleviate the pain of rejection and provide a sense of belonging and validation. In conclusion, rejection is an incredibly painful experience that activates both emotional and physical pain responses in our brains. Our language reflects the profound impact of rejection, and psychologists define it as the perception that others do not value social connections with us. While rejection can be difficult to cope with, asking ourselves important questions about the nature of the rejection and our self-perception can help us gain clarity and resilience. It is crucial to recognize that rejection is not a reflection of our worth, and by reflecting on our behavior and seeking supportive relationships, we can navigate the pain of rejection and find solace in connections with those who truly accept us.